This phone folds, but here is what really bends your expectations. The Samsung Galaxy Z Flip7 is here, and it is not just another update. On paper, it looks like the same old folding formula, slim, stylish, and packed with Samsung's best features. But in the end, it feels like the Flip series has finally grown up. If you have been waiting for the one model that makes foldables feel less like a trend and more like a practical daily phone, this might be it. But is it worth spending over $1,000 for? Let's break it down. The first thing that jumps out is the build. At just 6.5mm when unfolded and 13.7mm folded, this is the thinnest Flip yet, but it somehow feels sturdier than before. Samsung is using an Armor aluminum frame, Gorilla Glass Victus 2 on the back, and even the hinge feels tighter. Add IP48 protection, and suddenly a foldable feels a little less fragile. It will not survive extreme abuse, but for everyday life, it feels secure in a way earlier Flip models never did. The inside screen is a 6.9-inch LTPO AMOLED panel with 120Hz refresh rate and HDR10+, hitting up to 2600 nits of peak brightness. It is sharp, colorful, and ridiculously smooth. But what really surprised me is the cover display. At 4.1 inches, it is finally big enough to reply to texts, check notifications, and use basic apps without flipping open the phone. It feels more useful, less gimmicky. Performance is exactly what you expect from a 2025 Samsung flagship. The new Exynos 2500 chip with a 10-core setup makes it fast, responsive, and stable under heavy use. Paired with 12GB of RAM with 256GB or 512GB in UFS 4.0 storage, it eats through multitasking and large apps without hesitation. Gaming? It is good, but like most foldables, heat management becomes a limitation in longer sessions. Now, cameras. There are two sensors on the back, a 50MP main and a 12MP ultra-wide. They take sharp, vibrant photos in good lighting. Colors lean towards Samsung's usual punchy style, which many users love. But in low light, noise creeps in, and while OIS helps with stability, it still struggles to keep up with the S24 Ultra or even the Galaxy S series in certain conditions. The 10MP selfie camera is decent for social media, but if selfies are your priority, you may want to use the main camera with the cover display instead, a game changer for content creators. Battery life is better than expected for a foldable. The 4300 mAh cell paired with Samsung's efficiency tweaks easily lasts a full day, even for heavy users. The 25W wired charging gets you to 50% in around 30 minutes, and there is 15W wireless charging along with 4.5W reverse wireless for your earbuds or watch. Could it be faster? Absolutely. At this price, 25W feels dated. And let us talk about the price, $1,099. This is still a luxury phone. You are paying for design, compactness, and that foldable wow factor. But for someone wanting a daily phone that flips between style and practicality, it finally feels like less of a compromise. One early user summed it up perfectly. This is the first Flip that feels like a real flagship, not just a cool gadget. That stuck with me. So, who is this for? If you want the latest foldable design, a compact phone that expands into a big screen, and solid all-around performance, the Flip7 makes a lot of sense. But if cameras, charging speed, or budget are your top priorities, there are better options out there. Here is my take. The Z Flip7 finally nails what Samsung has been promising for years, a foldable that feels less like a compromise and more like a real phone. If that sounds like what you have been waiting for, this might be your next upgrade. What do you think? Is the Flip7 worth it at this price, or is foldable tech still not there yet? Drop your thoughts below, and if you found this breakdown helpful, you know what to do. So here is the bottom line. The Galaxy Z Flip7 is no longer just a statement piece. It is finally a foldable that balances style with practicality, but it still leaves room for improvement in charging speed and camera performance. If you want a compact flagship with a big personality and do not mind paying for that flexibility, this phone is worth considering. If not, your money might stretch further on a traditional flagship like the Galaxy S series. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you subscribe for more honest reviews like this one, and tell me in the comments, would you spend over $1,000 on a foldable, or do you think this is still too much for what you get?